Good afternoon. I am Dr. Pratima Pawar, Assistant Professor, Department of Zoology, Dada Patil Mahavidyalaya, Karjat, District Ahmednagar. And today we are going to see a topic from the course Animal Ecology, the course code Z0112, semester 1st. The chapter we are going to deal today is population, and the topics we are going to deal today under the sub heading of population are natality and mortality. So these are the learning outcomes. After studying this chapter, the students will be able to understand the aspects of population ecology. They will understand the parameters of birth rate and death rate, the different types of survivorship curves. So let's see birth rate or natality. The birth rate of a population can be defined as the average number of new individuals produced by that population in a unit of time. The maximum birth rate or potential natality is the maximum number of new individuals which can be produced per unit of time under ideal ecological conditions. Now, so what are these ideal ecological conditions? If the temperature is favorable, if the rainfall is favorable, if food is available in plenty, if there is availability of the mate, such conditions can be called as favorable ecological conditions. Okay. So this means that the maximum birth rate is solely determined by the physiological characters or the physiological functions. Okay, so let's see the actual or ecological birth rate. The factors such as the number of the sexually mature male and female, the proportion of the males and females in the population, the number of the eggs produced by the population per unit of time. Here we can see that the maximum birth rate almost remains constant for a given population. Now let's see the actual or ecological birth rate, or which is also called as the realized natality. Now this is considerably less than that of the maximum birth rate. So even if we are considering actual birth rate, it is more as compared to the maximum birth rate. Okay. Here, because all the females are not equally fertile, if we consider an organism, not all the females will be equally fertile, not all the eggs that are produced will hatch, and not all the eggs that hatch will form a larvae. Now, if we are talking about a butterfly, if for example we talk about Dinocypris, that is commonly called as the plain tiger, it lays about 10 eggs. Not all the eggs hatch. If we consider 5 eggs hatching, out of the 5 eggs which hatch, 5 larvae are formed. Out of these 5 larvae, not all attain adulthood in natural ecological condition. Why? Because there are some organisms which are eating the butterfly eggs like lizards. In the second stage, that is the larval stage also, there are certain organisms which eat the larvae of the butterflies. Okay, so here we can see that in the egg condition as well as in the larval conditions, there will be some loss. Hence, the result we can see that the number of individuals will be different as compared to the maximum birth rate. So, the actual birth rate or the realized natality is different as compared to the maximum birth rate. Here we can see that the ecological birth rate or natality rate can be expressed by the formula capital B is equal to capital N small n upon T, where B is equal to natality rate per unit of time, that is the birth rate per unit of time, Capital N, small n is the number of new individuals which are added to the population by birth or natality, and T is the unit of time. Similarly, here we can see that the natality rate per individual in the population per unit of time can be expressed by the formula capital B is equal to capital N small n upon capital N and T. So this can be expressed. So this is the natality per individual. Let's see the death rate or mortality. The death rate or mortality is the rate of a population where the number of individuals are dying per unit of time. So the death rate or mortality can be expressed as potential mortality or realized mortality. So let's see what is meant by potential mortality. The potential mortality or the maximum mortality is the number of deaths which would occur under ideal conditions due to physiological changes of old age. This is constant for a given population. So we can see that the potential mortality is constant for a given population. The realized mortality, whereas, or it is also called as the actual mortality or actual death rate, it varies depending upon the physical factors on the size, the composition and the density of the population. A convenient way to represent this type of death rate is by the help of a new technique which is called as the survivorship curves. Here we can see this is a convenient way to represent the incidence of death in a population. This is by the survivorship curves. To obtain this curve, the number of survivors in a population is plotted against time. Here we can see that it is plotted against the time. There are three basic types of survivorship curves. So we are going to see in detail the types of survivorship curve. Here we can see that this is one of the curves which is concave in shape. This is a survivorship curve which is diagonal, whereas this is a survivorship curve which is convex. So let's see the diagonal curve. Okay, so we are going to see this in detail. The hydra, the mice and the song sparrow are the examples of the diagonal survivorship curve which is a straight line. Here we can see that it is a straight line. This indicates that there is a constant mortality rate through the mice and many adult birds such as the song sparrow. Whereas we can see the convex, this is the convex type of curve. Okay, it is also called as a type 1 type of curve. Now this convex curve, this can be seen in most of the mammals. Here we can observe that there is a constant growth. Okay, and then finally it is subsiding at a particular age. The most individuals in convex or the type 1 type of curve, okay, their life potential, lifespan, and they die at a old age. So here we can see that when a small baby is born, it will live a happy life and they die after they attain a particular age. So this curve is highly convex, being nearly horizontal until the span is reached and then it drops down off sharply. So this can be observed in the case of man, rabbit, fruit flies, the deer and other mammals. So here we can see that the survivorship curve. So here from here we can understand that in case of mammals, in case of other animals, they survive till a very longer age, whereas in case of the diagonal curve we can say that there is mortality, there is death at mostly all the stages of life, whereas in the type 3 curve, which is also called as the concave survivorship curve. We can see the oyster, the different invertebrates which are found in the sea, on land, fishes and trees like the oak. Okay. Now here we can see the diagonal survivorship curve. This is an example of the song sparrow. Here we can see that since the song sparrows are born, there is a decline as the age progresses. So here we can see as the age progresses, there is a continuous decline in their age, and due to which the survivorship curve is a diagonal survivorship curve. Whereas in case of the convex survivorship curve, we can see that there is very less mortality at childhood, even in the teenage, but there is larger mortality at the old age. This also can be observed in the case of other animals like the mammals and larger fishes. Whereas the concave survivorship curve, as we have discussed earlier, we can see that in the third. Okay, so there is in the concave survivorship curve, it is found that these individuals, the mortality rate is very high in the early life. So in the childhood or in the early life by birth, there is a lot of death, as in the case of oysters, as in case of invertebrates and most of the fishes. So here we can see the bees, the other insects like moth, butterflies. So there is a large mortality rate in the early life span. What is the significance of the survivorship curve? Okay, now here we can see an examination of the survivorship curve where the mortality rate is very high or is very low or is medium. We have seen the different types of the survivorship curve. The period, so here we can identify the period when the particular species was most vulnerable or most subjected to death. When it was subjected to death, which stage of its life is very crucial. Okay. Second, we can see that the decrease or the increase in the mortality during this period of high vulnerability, of high death, produces marked effect on the future size of the population. Here we can see that the size of the population is being affected by the mortality rate of the animals. Let's revise what we have seen. We have seen the birth rate, the maximum birth rate, the actual or ecological birth rate, the death rate, potential, realized survivorship curves. So in the survivorship curves, we have seen the concave, convex and diagonal survivorship curves. And thanks a lot.